Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's well today.
Good morning, Judge Morrow.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Norris. Hope you all are well.
Good morning. What can be expected?
Good. Mr. Coleman, Mr. White, I don't have any announcements from you all, so you'll have to let me know what once the defendants are called, and also good morning, Mr. Howard, what you want to do with your clients today, okay?
That's fine. Will do, Judge. And also, just so the court is aware, Judge, it's gonna be slow motion today. We didn't get the offers for most of the county after 5 yesterday, so we haven't seen most of the people that are on the.
Okay.
We do have a few that are ready now. We're gonna go ahead and start on those, and we're gonna keep interviewing and trying to get it done as we go, but just want to make the court aware we'll need some, probably a break or two to be able to interview people and get.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know, Mr. Howard. You all take your time and we'll get through it, okay?
Thank you.
Position 1, Frank Banks, that's gonna be a reset for a social worker. I can't get plead with him.
When would you like that reset for, Mr. Coleman?
Let's say next Thursday.
Okay, so a 1-week reset next Thursday. Looks like that is October 5th.
No.
Position 4, Adrian Carter, that's a plea this morning. And I will bring the paperwork down once we finish here in the jail.
Okay, and is this Mr. Carter in front of me?
Is this Mr. Carter?
No, this is Mr. Edmondson, position 5.
Okay, Mr. Edmondson, well, before you right now is position 5, Mr. Edmondson, that's gonna be reset jail jury.
You're gonna file a waiver, Mr. Coleman?
I'll file that this morning.
Okay, yes, good morning, Mr. Edmondson, good morning. Your case will be returned to the division judge and you'll get notification of your next hearing date, sir.
That's it. It's number 4 in here, it's Mr. Carter in here. Adrian Carter.
So my drain.
What Adrian? He's gonna reduce that social.
Is that the same?
Yeah, I guess exactly.
Mr. Carter? This is position 4, Mr. Carter.
Okay, remind me again, Mr. Coleman, what we're doing with Mr. Carter? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I reviewed it.
No, we're not.
No,
This is gonna be a plea this morning.
no, okay, thank you. I just didn't hear, I think because of
Okay.
what's going on in the courtroom. Good morning, Mr. Carter. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Was that a yes? I'm sorry. Thank you, sir. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, sir. Yes, good morning, Ms. Allen. You can proceed. Or Ms. Nimini, whichever, I'm not sure whose case it is. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, Your Honor. For Mr. Carter, the state is asking for 12 months probation, credit for time served 15 days, an FVIP course, 40 hours of community service, no further contact with Ms. Bianca Ragland, and a stay away from 1001 Washington Heights Terrace, Northwest.
Mr. Coleman?
Yeah, one moment. Are you? Yeah, we would ask the court to accept the plea as negotiated. I did want to inquire if the prosecutor's office has been in contact with Ms. Ragland to confirm that she does not want to have contact. It's my understanding that they are legally married.
The state did try to get in contact with Ms. Ragland, but we were unable to find a working email or phone number.
So, again, we would stipulate to a factual basis as well as venue and ID. We would just ask that there be no further violent contact if the state does not know for sure that, Ms. Ragland does not want to have contact with her husband. We would ask that the probation would, go non-reporting once Mr. Carter has finished the domestic violence class, and that probation fees be waived for a period of time.
Mr. Carter, it's my understanding that in case 22 CR 005541D, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery family violence. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
I understand.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Mr. Coleman, does Mr. Carter presently have a job?
Yes, I do.
Yes, he does.
Okay, I'm gonna waive 2 months of the probation fees to help him get on his feet. And as soon as he completes the family violence intervention program in the community service, it'll go to a non-reporting status, which means that the sooner you get that done, Mr. Carter, the sooner you won't be on reporting probation, and the sooner you won't have to pay those fees. I'll also have the contact be no further violent contact with Ms. Ragland. Good luck to you, Mr. Carter.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honor.
You're welcome.
Mr. Position number 9, Mr. Gonzalez
He needs an interpreter.
needs an interpreter. Okay. Disregard, Judge. She does need a Spanish interpreter.
Is position 6 in here? No, just have the people back there. Sit down. Is position 6 in here, Mel Edwards?
No, I got it here.
Okay.
He's refused.
Well, it's, you know, you don't need to bring him in here. It's just reset judge.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I have for right now.
13, Jaquarius Jones.
Hold on. We're gonna do positions 8 through 10. Mr. Jackson, have a seat over here.
And he's on the probation revocation calendar?
Terrence Jackson. No, he's on the regular.
Okay.
I have Terrence Jackson on the probation revocation calendar.
Okay.
No?
I apologize, Judge.
No, that's fine. I'm just trying to figure out where I am.
We can handle it. See you.
Okay. Good morning, Officer Harris.
Good morning, Your Honor. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Hope you are as well.
Yes, sir.
Are we ready for Mr. Jackson, Mr. White?
We are, Judge.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Jackson. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the probation revocation calendar that we're conducting by video. Is that okay with you? Okay, thank you, sir. Officer Harris?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Jackson was sentenced December 29th, 2022 to 12 months to complete a shoplifting course. As of today, Mr. Jackson has not reported or completed the course. He has 154 days remaining on probation. Probation recommendations to give him credit for time served and to close his case.
Take it you don't have any objection to that, Mr. White?
No, Your Honor, we sure don't.
Mr. Jackson, had you done that shoplifting class, which isn't very much, you wouldn't be sitting back here in jails, but I'm going to go ahead and accept the recommendation of Officer Harris, and since you are back in jail, and give you time served. Okay, good luck to you, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Positions 18 and 19, Mr. Jermaine Moore.
Those
Yes,
are
and
my
what-
cases, Your Honor. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Ms. Allen. What are we doing with Mr. Moore this morning?
Going to be entering the negotiated plea, Judge.
Okay, very good. Good morning, Mr. Moore. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Moore. Yes, Ms. Allen.
Thank you, Your Honor. The offer on these cases is to null pros position 19, which happened in May of 2023, and to sentence Mr. Moore on position 18, which happened in August of 2023. The offer in this case is 12 months to serve, 22 days, stay away from Walmart in general, because both of these cases are at Walmarts, one Jonesboro Road in Union City, and the other Old National in South Fulton. And complete the anti-theft course. Mr. Moore has a significant history that includes criminal trespass and shoplifting. The date of the incident on position number 18, like I said, was in August. He was seen by loss prevention and staff at Walmart selecting meat, specifically ox scales, and concealing that meat in his clothing. And then he left and went through all points of sale without paying. The meat was inventoried, and it was $128.47 worth of meat. He
And
had,
Ms. Allen,
Yes.
the way we normally do it is that if Mr. White stipulates to all the factual basis and things of that nature, and it's a negotiated plea, all I need is the plea recommendation, okay?
then you
And
have it.
Okay, that's fine with the court, if as long as it's fine with you and your office, and that's the way that we normally do it. With Mr. Moore, do you want him to stay away from all Walmarts or just the one on Jonesboro Road and Old National?
The two that I just spoke about would be helpful. And ultimately, if I do go into any facts, it's because we have a victim or someone on the Zoom with us as well.
Okay, that's fine, and
I'll let you
if
know.
we, okay, I'm happy to hear from them or whomever wishes to testify this morning. Yes, Mr. White.
Judge, we just have to accept the plea as negotiated. We would ask you to waive 1 month of probation fee that allows you to complete the course and allows probation to terminate once he does complete the course.
Okay. Mr. Moore, it's my understanding that in case 22 CR 005430C, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass and theft by shoplifting, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning? I take it was that a no?
I'm sorry.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up the right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Mr. Moore, once you complete the anti-theft course, the probation will terminate. So the sooner you get that done, the sooner you won't be on probation. To encourage you to do that, I will waive 1 month of probation fees to help you get and stay on your feet. But if you don't complete it within the first month, then probation fees are going to start kicking in. Okay, so go ahead and get that done so you're not on probation anymore. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome.
Yeah, we'll do that.
McLean,
Also,
McLean,
he's also- you need somebody.
you want to do
Wait,
some-
Joe.
Judge Morrow. The
Yes.
rest of the cases that we have in here is gonna be with Mr. McLean, and he's actually talking to his clients right now.
Okay. And
You decided on that one? You for sure on what you want to do?
Okay, he's ready.
okay, very good.
Sterling, go ahead, have a seat over here. Yeah. This is gonna be position 24 through 28, Mr. Sterling.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. McLean. Hope you're well today.
I hope so too, Your Honor. I hope you're well. Your Honor, today we have Mr. Sterling with 5 positions. So it is a little complicated, if I might, as a preliminary statement, put it this way for clarity.
Okay,
He's got a 2016 domestic violence case. It's one count. He's got a 2016 DUI case. He's got a 2023 this month, September 2023 DV case. The state is offering FVIP, of course, on the domestic violence cases. On the DUI, he feels that he is not guilty and would like to plead not guilty on the DUI from 2016. However, it is one of his 2 FTAs that is noted in position number, let's see, 27 and 28 are 2 FTAs. One of those 2 FTAs is the DUI. So if he is able to plead today to the 2016 domestic violence, the 2023 domestic violence, and he would like to go to trial on the DUI, that I believe his bonding situation will leave him with a bond that he must make before he can leave this jail. And I believe that bond is on the FTA, which is what is holding him.
okay, let's see. My calendar says position number 26 is a battery charge. Is that a battery family violence charge or just a battery charge?
It says battery.
Okay,
No, I just think it, all I see is battery.
okay, that, I'm sorry, I must have misheard you. So,
I'm sorry, I misspoke. I called it domestic violence. Perhaps they were not living together. That may be it.
okay, so position 24, he wants to plead guilty to the simple battery family violence. The position 26 battery charge, he wants to plead guilty to. One of the failure to appears would be null prost with if he pleads to that. The other one is associated with the DUI to which he's going to plead not guilty. Is that what you? Okay, so you would like me to give him a reinstate or give him a bond on the failure to appear that accompanies the DUI charge?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so why don't we do this? Why don't we start with taking the pleas on the simple battery family violence and the battery, and then we will address the DUI, unless you want me to go ahead and get his history and make a decision regarding the DUI first. Which would you prefer?
Let's do the first. Let's do the latter thing you mentioned first.
Okay, so the bond on the DUI?
Actually, it's the DUI bond itself is not holding him in. It's the FTA on the DUI that's holding him.
Right, yeah, exactly. So the FT, but he's gonna need for me to lift that for him to, okay.
Right.
So you
Either
like me to-
that, Your Honor, either that, or if Your Honor does not rule in his favor, he'll do his best to just make that bond. It is a $1,000 bond, I believe. Is that correct? That's what I've got on the paperwork. I'm on. Each of the 2 FTAs, which is 27 and 28 on our calendar today, each one of those 2 FTAs says $1,000 bond.
Okay,
And he's
and
not
you,
darndest to make that bond if Your Honor cannot see its way clear to a signature bond on that matter. He'll do his darndest to make the $1,000 bond. He is
okay,
pre-warning the court that his arrest record is not pretty, but that's okay.
does he have any prior DUIs?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, and Ms. Tyson, can you verify that for me?
Yeah, sure. Do you want the whole history?
No, just the history.
Just the
regarding-
DUIs?
Yeah, DUIs.
Now that's based on client interview, Your Honor. I don't have a GCIC.
He has a DUI from 2016. I don't have a,
No, that's it.
that is it. That is the same DUI. Okay. It just says bound over. Okay. Yes.
First he's gonna talk to the time.
That looks like that's actually that's the only DUI that's on his record.
Okay, if no objection from, Ms. Anna, or if you want to make any, announcement, Ms. Allen, or any argument, you go ahead and make your argument.
I'm going to take one moment just to review the driving record that I have.
Okay.
And absolutely, one moment.
Okay. And as she does that, Mr. McLean, you're telling me that once he resolves this, there's nothing else that's holding him in jail?
Correct, Your Honor. The three lines on what I show holding him in jail, I'm looking at his booking sheet, and they are simply the 23 CR 005731G and the 2 FTAs that are showing on the calendar.
Okay, I just want to make sure that once we go through all this, there's nothing else that's going to be.
Oh, and Your Honor, my eyes are not as fast as my mouth. I set $1,000 bond on each of the 2 FTAs. Actually, one of them is 1,500. One of them is 1,500, and one of them is 1,000. Which is which? Let's see.
Okay, Your Honor, I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead.
We can absolutely move forward on the pleas for the position 24 and 26. Not guilty and furthering the DUI case, position number 5, sending it back to the court is obviously an option at this point. Mr. Sterling failed to appear for his final plea on September the 8th of this year. And a bench warrant was issued. My understanding, just based on a review very briefly of the documents related to the DUI, is he was arrested on scene, his car was impounded, his cell phone was taken. He went through field sobriety. I don't have any other detailed information on that issue, but he didn't come to court to talk about his innocence. So I guess he's going to have to deal with that now.
Okay, so I guess my question to you, Ms. Allen, is that if do you have an objection to me converting, after he takes these pleas to the other cases, converting the good bond to a signature bond and further noticing him?
No, Your Honor. I mean, his bond was surrendered by a pretrial because of his failure to appear. So as long as the court feels confident that Mr. Sterling will actually appear if he gets a bond again after failing to appear, then we are absolutely fine with moving forward.
Okay, very good. So that's what I'm going to do, Mr. McLean. If he goes ahead and takes a plea to the simple battery, family violence, and the battery, the DUI, I will convert that to a signature bond through the jail, and that case will be returned to the division judge.
I'll prepare such an order.
Okay, so are we ready to go forward on the simple battery, family violence, and the battery charges now?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Sterling. I know we're talking about you and I haven't addressed you, but good morning, sir. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you. Yes, Ms. Allen.
Thank you. So on position number 24, the offense date obviously was in 2016, and defense is stipulating to the facts and venue.
We are.
The offer in this case is to complete family violence intervention. This is a plea on the 2 cases that we're talking about concurrent. credit for the 26 days, I believe that he's got credit for or should get credit for. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. McLean.
I believe it's
And no contact with the victim, in this case on position number 24, Crystal Smart. And I don't know if I said it, family violence intervention, to complete that as well.
And what about position 26?
On position number 26, again, it's a plea. It's concurrent with the sentence on 24. Credit for the same amount of time, 26 days, and no contact with Angela Williams.
Mr. McLean?
Yes, Your Honor, that is the offer, and we ask to accept the offer to take the negotiated plea.
Okay. Mr. Sterling, it's my understanding that in case 17 CR 0000530G, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery family violence. And in case 23 CR 005731G, you wish to plead guilty to battery. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the pleas as negotiated, Mr. Sterling. When you complete the terms of the probation, the Family Violence Intervention Program, I'm going to have the probation go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get that done, the sooner you won't be on active reporting to probation, and the sooner you won't have to pay those fees, okay?
Okay, thank you. And thank you to Ms. Allen.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Sterling.
All right, thank you.
Good meeting you. Thank you.
Position 23, Stanford.
Okay. Did you get a chance to talk to Mr. Howard? Okay. If I might have just one, Your Honor.
Okay,
Okay. Now, this is apparently time served, please, is that correct?
The
I'm
offer
not
in
sure.
this case is to serve 60 days.
Um,
I believe he's got credit for 24 or so days.
I would suggest that perhaps we should go non-negotiated, and I'll ask for a break on the 6 extra days. You want to do that? Yeah. Okay. Your Honor, let's go ahead with a guilty plea, and we'll make it non-negotiated, and I'll argue to not have 6 extra days for it.
Okay, Ms. Tyson, can I get Mr. Stanford's history, please?
Yes, one moment. He has, Mr. Sanford, he has 25 arrest cycles out of Georgia that began in 2011. Let me get to the last 10 years. We have a misdemeanor theft by shoplifting out of Cobb County, 2019. It looks like we have at least 3 FTAs in the last 10 years. We have a misdemeanor criminal trespass out of Gwinnett County, and that's from April 2021. We have felony conviction for criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree, and that's out of Fulton County. That's from December 2020. And it looks like he may still be under sentence for that. He received 4 years, 6 months probation for that case. We have another misdemeanor criminal trespass and a transmitting false report of fire that was from June of 2022 in Cobb County. We have at least 3 violations of probation. And his last arrest was July 8th of 2023 in DeKalb County, and that was for possession of tools for commission of a crime and a criminal trespass. And it looks like a probation violation also. There's no disposition listed for that case, Your Honor. Let's see. He has some history out of California also. Looks like he has 6 cycles out of California, all outside of the 10-year period. Last arrest was May of 2011, and that was for under influence of controlled substance. No dispositions listed for that case. He has 3 cycles out of Tennessee. Last arrest was in November of 2019. That was for theft of property and vandalism. Resulted in a misdemeanor conviction, December 2019. And he has 6 cycles out of North Carolina. That begins in 1996. Looks like he has 2 felony convictions outside the 10-year period. Last arrest was in 2011. And that looks like it was for an out-of-state warrant. Nothing to add, Your Honor.
And may I have, given that this is non-negotiated, the facts of this matter?
Yes, Your Honor. This is an incident that occurred at 2419 Cheshire Bridge Road, which is a vacant commercial building. It used to be a Regions Bank. The property has multiple signs stating it's private property and you don't get to go inside. The defendant was located inside the property and there was damage in the property, I believe. He was originally on a bond through pretrial services, a signature bond, and then he was arrested on a probation violation for the felony criminal damage to property from 2020 that you just heard about. And that bond was surrendered, I believe. I would argue at this point, Your Honor, that this gentleman has a very long, extensive criminal history related to similar facts, open cases for tools and criminal trespass. You just heard about multiple convictions for shoplifting and criminal trespass, multiple failure to appears and probation violations. I would say that there should be some services being offered to address residential issues and maybe substance abuse. At this point, I think pushing this down the road and acting like somebody else can deal with what's glaringly obvious is slightly irresponsible, but that's the position of the state at this point. This is non-negotiated, it's fine. Our offer is 12 months to serve 60 days and credit for the 24 days he's got credit for, and obviously to stay away from the location, that private property commercial building on Cheshire Bridge Road.
Mr. McLean, he's still going to have to deal with the felony criminal damage to property, correct?
Correct, Your Honor. In fact, ironically, this case is not on his booking screen at all. This is simply taking care of the case. But this I don't believe is on his booking sheet at all.
Okay, so do you have any additional argument?
Yes, Your Honor, factually. My impression of the Regions Bank building with a lot of no trespassing signs on it would be that bank has been abandoned and empty for quite some time. He wasn't charged with any damage inside that former bank building because it's pretty obvious that any damage that was done in it would have been done by Lord knows who in the last how many months. This is a situation of somebody finding a place to sleep at night. So it's a criminal trespass of that sort. The only other break I get is on the object that is drug related. It does say it's the type for the inhaling of marijuana. Society, for whatever reason, society does not look down upon marijuana as much as types and objects which would be used for inhaling cocaine. Thank you.
And, Mr. McLean, I think that regardless of what I do today, whether in my calculation is that he'd have to serve an additional 6 days if I accept the offer of the state, that he won't be getting out of custody today anyway until he has to, until he resolves that felony charge. Given his history, go ahead.
No, that's true.
Right, and so given his history and what counsel has told me, I'm inclined to accept the state's recommendation. With my calculation, it's an additional 6 days, so 12 months to serve, 60 days, credit for time served, 24 days, stay away from the location. I'd also like for him to have a social worker visit to assist with housing once he gets out. So if you go forward with the plea, that will be the court's sentence.
Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Yeah. We will have our social worker talk to him starting today, and we understand that that's fine. We're going forward, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Stanford, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 002052H, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass and possession and use of drug-related objects. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept your plea, Mr. Stanford. The court sentences 12 months to serve, 60 days, credit for time served, 24 days, balance suspended, and to stay away from 2419 Cheshire Bridge Road. I also would like you to have a social worker visit to assist you with housing. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And courtroom 2, I see that we have Ms. Chancey on the line, the interpreter. Good morning, Ms. Chancey. So whenever you all have the opportunity, I just wanted to let you know that she's here with us now.
Yes, thank you, Judge. Actually, Mr. Coleman is on the phone with his clients at ACDC.
Okay, thank you.
Well,
So we'll be with you when we can, Ms. Chancey. Thank you for being here this morning.
Position 13, Mr. Jones.
Okay, so you want to accept the offer? Okay, so I just need to ask you some questions. Do you understand the charge of pleading guilty?
What are we doing with Mr. Jones today?
I believe this is a plea, Your Honor. Mr. White my colleague, Mr. White informs me this is a time served plea. He's gone elsewhere to interview people, and I'll be glad to stand in for him on the plea.
Okay, and good morning, Mr. Jones. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar. Good morning, sir, that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me?
Yeah.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yes, Ms. Nemini?
You're doing so.
Yes, Your Honor. The state is just asking for time served, 75 days, and balance suspended.
Okay. Mr. McLean, anything further?
Nothing further. Thank you.
Does the attorney have permission to find?
Mr. Jones, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 000573F, you wish to plead guilty to the willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Jones. Good luck to you, sir.
Me too.
Thank you.
Do you have an email?
This is gonna be on the probation calendar, positions 1 and 2, Mr. Cole.
Okay,
All right, I think that's all the information.
I'm sorry.
All right, that's it, man. Thank you.
let me know, just let me know when you're ready to proceed, Mr. McLean.
We're ready, Your Honor.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Cole. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the probation revocation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yes, Officer Harris.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Cole was sentenced to probation on June 23rd of this year to 12 months to complete a shoplifting course. As of today, Mr. Cole has not reported or completed the class. He has 277 days left of probation. Probation recommendation is to give him credit for the times he served and to close his case.
I take it there's no objection to that, Mr. McLean?
No objection.
Okay, time served. Good luck to you, Mr. Cole.
For
This is also on the probation calendar, positions 11 and 12, Mr. Mackey.
from November 2021.
Good morning, Mr. Mackey. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the probation revocation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? I'm sorry, was that a yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mackey. Officer Harris?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Mackey was sentenced on January the 12th of this year to 12 months to complete a mental health evaluation. As of today, he has not reported or completed the evaluation. Probation recommendation is to give him credit for the time he served and to close his case.
How much time is left?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. So sorry. 158 days.
May 18th, they would dismiss the failure to appeal.
And how long has he served?
So I think that if you want to accept this off and plead guilty, or if you want to have this.
I'm not sure. Second.
While you look for that,
Well, the only other option, if you don't.
Mr. McLean, is there a reason that he hasn't completed the MHE?
Your Honor, he struggles with organization matters.
Yes, ma'am, unless you can pay the bond. It looks like it's-
Okay, is he residentially challenged?
I'll ask. He does have a place to stay.
Yeah.
Okay, my only concern is that there was a reason that he was ordered to undergo an MHE, and I just need to figure out why he has not done that and why he has not reported. I honestly don't understand what organizational matters means.
Well, he has trouble getting organized to go.
Yes.
You have to find it and pay for it, and to get that evaluation, you have to get yourself together to find somebody to give it, and he hadn't gotten together to do that.
Okay,
Yeah, they would like to do that, man, yes.
do we know how much time he served?
From what I see in the jail, Your Honor, he's been in custody since September the 22nd, so I'm guessing 6 days.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Need to ask you some questions. You understand the charge of pleading guilty to?
Given the nature of the charge, I will accept probation's recommendation. Time served. Good luck to you, Mr. Mackey.
All right, what was it again?
No, ma'am, that's the master plan, Mr. Mr.
All right, January.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication at this time? And are you satisfied with my services?
You got time, sir. Yeah.
You don't be thinking about pleading guilty. I have tried. And I need a witness this call to testify for you or against.
Next, Judge, this is also on the probation calendar, positions 4 and 5, Mr. Fisher.
Is anyone forced or willing to? You're doing something voluntarily?
Mr. Fisher,
Yes, sir.
I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the probation revocation calendar that we're conducting by video. You agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Officer Harris?
Information about contracts.
You're on mute, Officer Harris.
Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Mr. Fisher was sentenced on June the 1st of this year to 12 months to complete a drug and alcohol evaluation if treatment is needed. Mr. Fisher reported to the office once and stopped reporting. He has 268 days remaining. Since he's already been to our office, I want to continue him on and have him complete the evaluation within the first 30 days upon his release.
What's the, on the probation, once he completes the evaluation, what is the, does he have to continue reporting or is he done?
Let's see, Your Honor, I'll check that right now for you.
Okay, and as you do that, Mr. McLean, what's the problem?
Well, Your Honor, he should be able to, I don't mean to deflect from the question. Let me, I have him answer that directly. I was going to say, though, oriented toward the future instead of the past, flipping through his paperwork, he's eminently, he's quite employable because he's worked at several places. And I believe his address has been stable. Is it stable now? Yes, it's still stable. He'll be able to do this, Your Honor, and ask for the opportunity to do that. But the judge did ask, why haven't you done it yet? That's a separate question. Would you like to
Okay, that's it, ma'am.
tell the judge why you haven't gotten it done
Thank
yet?
you. We'll be clear this morning.
I just been having complications.
Speak up. Speak
I
up.
really can't say, I just been having a little problems, you know, with my job and places,
Sorry, your name?
living situation, but
It's stable now?
yes.
Get your paper.
Okay. And you still have this, your emergency contact here. That's still your friend and they help you out? Okay, very good. He does
So-
have resources. He's got a good friend that sticks by him.
Mr. Fisher, people have problems all the time, you know, so I empathize and sympathize with you. But let me just say that if you're going through things, if you go missing, then we don't know that. If you stay in touch with probation, then they'll work with you, okay? But if you just go missing, I don't want to see you back here in custody. You understand? So just don't go missing. If you have some problems, give them a call. They'll work with you, or at least they'll have it noted that you haven't missed any probation appointments, and they, you know, and we'll have that. But if you just go missing, then you know that at some point in time they're going to catch up with you, and you're going to be sitting right back here, right? Okay. Do you have an answer for me, Officer Harris?
Yes, you actually signed this order, Your Honor, and you put no reporting upon completion of the evaluation.
Okay, so so Mr. Fisher, as soon as you get this done, then you don't have to report to probation. You don't have to pay those. Well, I don't know if I waived any fees or not, but you don't have to pay the fees. And you'll in essence be done. So I'm going to give you the opportunity. Go get it done so that we don't have to see you sitting here again. Okay.
I have one question. Sure. It's the drug and alcohol, the alcohol class, right? Like there.
Are you gonna do the
And if you contact probation also, they can help you with arranging all that. Okay.
Okay.
You understand?
All right. So I'm going to continue, Mr. Fisher, but I don't expect to see you back here. Okay.
I got it. Thank
All
you.
right. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, do I have your permission to sign your name?
Judge, the only case that we have left is the interpreter case, but Mr. Coleman is still interviewing his clients. I do see
Okay.
Mr. Derek logged on. So we can, and then the rest of the cases will be done on the floors.
Okay. And the person that needs the interpreter, are they in the courtroom with you?
Yes. We're just waiting
Okay.
for Mr. Coleman.
Okay, so I guess what we can do, if it's all right with you, Francois, is that when he's ready, we'll just put all of you into a breakout room so that he can speak with them.
Okay.
Or
Is she your?
I don't know if, do y'all have a laptop there, Mr. McLean?
We do not today, Your Honor, but we do have, we have a desktop that's in the same room.
Okay, well, I don't know if I can can I put the desktop into a breakout room or not?
No.
No.
Okay, yeah, so I'll have to put you all into the breakout room. So just let me know when you're ready for that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no, thank you. Can we go to ACDC? Are we ready with anybody there?
What's your email? Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Officer Milton.
Attorney Coleman is, he has told that he's interviewing.
Okay.
But this,
Do we-
but this, she's ready, but I think he has to be the one to do it.
Okay, do we have anybody else there that we can take that's not his case?
He's interviewing all the females over here.
Oh, okay, all right. So I guess we'll have to be in recess until Mr. Coleman is available. Do we have, unless we have someone else that we can take? Okay, doesn't appear so. So you all just let the court know when you're ready to proceed, okay?
Okay, and what is your birthday?
Thank you, Judge Morrow.
Okay, yeah, sure, just let me know.
All right, okay, that's it.
We'll be in recess.
Actually, yeah, he's still on the phone. Mr. Coleman is still on the phone.
Okay, all right.
Your Honor, we're ready. You gonna start off with
Okay, who do we have?
position number 2, Miss Justine Burns. Justice, I'm sorry, Justice Burns. I thought I was gonna get a chance. Yeah, it's fine, it's fine.
I'm sorry, excuse me, before we do ACDC, can we be put on a breakout with our Spanish interpreter along with Mr. Coleman and courtroom 2? Come on, Mr. Bernard.
Okay, so we will have to be in recess until courtroom 2 comes back. Unless. Okay, so if we can put courtroom 2 and Madam Interpreter into a breakout room, please. Okay, and the court is in recess until courtroom 2 comes back.
Good work, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Ready, Judge, for position number 9, Mr. Gonzalez.
Okay, what are we doing with Mr. Gonzalez this morning?
Good morning, Your Honor. Mr. Gonzalez was on the calendar last Thursday. There was no offer made on that time.
Él estuvo en la lista de causas el jueves pasado.
Okay, I'm sorry, did you need to swear in the interpreter?
Oh, yes.
Yes, Madam Interpreter, do you swear affirm that you will translate from Spanish to English and English to Spanish to the best of your ability?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Do we have an offer this week?
No, Your Honor, it was
Una
rescheduled today. For today, there still is no offer on this case. He's been in custody here for 19 days. I'm requesting a bond hearing at this time for Mr. Gonzalez Monroe.
Yo estoy pidiendo una audiencia para el señor Monroy. No ha habido ninguna propuesta de sentencia de parte de la Fiscalía hasta ahora.
Have we already arraigned Mr. Gonzalez, Monroy?
¿La hemos tomado declaración?
I'm not exactly sure.
No estoy seguro.
He's here off of a warrant.
Pero sí hubo una orden de arresto.
Would you like for me to arraign him or would you like to file a waiver?
I can file a waiver.
¿Usted quiere renunciar a la toma de declaración? Sí, puedo.
Okay, so I'm gonna need to get his history and I'm also in need of what the current bond is. Does anyone have the current bond?
Yo necesito sus antecedentes y necesito saber si hay una fianza establecida.
I have it at 4,000. I don't know if that's a surety bond or if it's a cash bond.
La tengo a 4,000, no sé si es bajo garantía o por firma.
Miss Champion, do we have his bond there?
Señora Champion, ¿tenemos información de eso ahora?
Or I'm sorry, or Miss Grace. Miss Grace, I'm sorry, Miss Grace.
Señora Grace.
I'm checking, Judge.
Estoy chequeando,
you.
señoría. Gracias.
Yes, Your Honor. I had 2,000 signature, 1,000 per account. I don't know where the 4,000 came from.
Yo tengo un total de $2,000 de fianza bajo firma, $1,000 por cada cargo. No sé de dónde salieron los 4,000.
I have this booking screen here and it's indicating a $4,000 bond.
Está en mi pantalla.
So if he has a signature bond, then I don't understand why he would still be in custody. I don't see where there's an ICE hold or anything.
No entiendo por qué él está todavía bajo custodia, ya que él tiene una fianza bajo firma, a no ser que tenga una detención de inmigración.
Your Honor, he does have a $4,000 bond. I think he was picked up on a bench warrant on this case.
Él sí tiene una fianza por $4,000 ya que fue recogido por una orden de arresto.
And do you have the breakdown on that bond, Ms. Champion?
¿Tenemos todos los detalles de esa fianza?
And Judge, it's a cash bond on the bench warrant, and it's a 2,000 on each. It's a total of 4,000.
Oh, en
Okay.
realidad es $2,000 por cargo, por eso da un total de 4,000.
Okay. Ms. Tyson, may I get his history, please?
Antecedente, señor, por favor, Tyson.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Gonzalez, he has 4 arrest cycles beginning in 2019. He is a
Este señor tiene 4 ciclos, 4 procesos desde el 2019.
He has a misdemeanor conviction out of DeKalb County for battery family violence first offense.
Él tiene un delito menor en el condado de DeKalb, el primer arresto por violencia familiar.
And disorderly conduct. Disposition date on that is November of 2020.
Y también un cargo de conducta negligente en noviembre del 2020.
And it looks like he has a pending case out of Brookhaven
Parece que hay un caso pendiente desde Brookhaven
for 2 counts of financial transaction card theft and possession and use of drug-related objects.
y también un cargo relacionado por robo con tarjeta. Y, I'm sorry, can you repeat the last charge, please?
Possession and use of drug-related objects.
Thank you. Y también por tenencia de un objeto relacionado con uso de droga.
And 1 FTA that he was picked up on.
También tuvo un cumplimiento de comparecencia.
And then he has 1 cycle from the Custom and Border Patrol in Florida, and that was from August of 2016.
Y también hubo otro arresto desde el patrullero de carreteras en Florida, y eso fue en agosto del 2016 en la Florida.
Nothing to add, Your Honor.
Nada más, su señoría.
Ms. Nemini?
Yes, Your Honor. So this incident happened January 8th of 2019. Officers were dispatched at the location and they met with Ms. Tamarit Araceli, who advised officers that her and her longtime boyfriend that lived with her, they got into a fight because she was going to leave him.
One moment, please. Esto ocurrió el 8 de enero del 2019. La policía fue llamada al lugar del incidente y se contactaron con Tamarit Araceli, quien les comentó que este acusado era el novio de un largo tiempo. Thank you, ma'am.
They had been together for a year and he drinks too much. And that night he had been drinking.
Habían estado juntos por un año y él toma mucho, y esa noche él había estado tomando.
They began to fight. Defendant held her down and began hitting her. He tried to bite her and she fought him off, in which he hit her harder.
Comenzaron a pelear y él la mantuvo sostenida y trató de golpearla, de morderla, y ella, al tratar de defenderse, él la golpeó aún más.
Officers observed bruising consistent with being held down. They saw severe bruising on her arm, bruises on her face where she had been hit.
La policía pudo notar marcas y moretones que eran constantes con el haber sido una persona mantenido abajo a la fuerza. Había moretones en el brazo, en el lado de la cara.
Ms. Araceli also advised that the next morning, because it happened in the wee morning, when she woke up, she texted her daughter to let her know that defendant had hit her And the defendant had seen the message and he took her phone and fled.
La señora Araceli dijo que a la mañana siguiente ella se despertó y llamó a la hija para avisarle que el acusado le había golpeado. Entonces él tomó su teléfono y huyó.
She then had to run to the neighbor's house to call the police.
Entonces tuvieron que correr a la casa del vecino para llamar a la policía.
The state is currently unable to give him an offer considering a second conviction is a felony and he has a 2020 conviction out of DeKalb from DeKalb.
Entonces, por eso no se ha podido establecer una oferta de sentencia, ya que tiene 2 convicciones, lo que implicaría un delito mayor, y también los del 2020 en el condado de DeKalb.
The same victim, Your Honor.
Con la misma víctima, su señoría.
Why hasn't this been transferred?
¿Por qué no ha sido transferido?
I'm not entirely sure, Your Honor.
No estoy totalmente segura, su señoría.
So I don't understand if this was on the calendar last week with no offer and have you all sought to have it transferred?
Entonces, si esto está desde la semana pasada sin ninguna oferta de sentencia, han pensado en ofrecerle algo.
I know personally, upon seeing that he had a battery conviction, I did try to get it transferred, but the DA had declined. We can see further how we can get that moved back up, but at this moment, I don't have any.
Dado a que yo había visto que tenía 2 convicciones por golpes y lesiones y que hice una proposición para transferirlo, pero la fiscalía la rechazó. Por eso podría seguir intentando en planear una transferencia.
Well, I don't understand. I'm not going to have this man sitting in jail. He's been on the calendar before. Apparently, there's been a decline from the DA and no offer from your office. So if it's been declined, I don't understand why you wouldn't have an offer.
Bueno, yo no voy a tener a este hombre sentado aquí en la cárcel si él ya ha estado en la lista de causas anteriormente. La fiscalía ha rechazado una transferencia. No entiendo por qué no hay otra oferta de sentencia.
It sounds like it needs to be further noticed to the trial calendar.
Parece que debe ser notificado para la lista de causas para ir a juicio.
So that means the offer is 12 months to serve?
Entonces la oferta sería a servir 2 meses.
Yes, that would be our only option if the DA's office has declined to accept the transfer. We'd be offering 12 months to serve.
Okay, so that's all I'm trying to get.
Yeah, I
is an
think
offer.
that makes sense, Your Honor.
Sí, entonces ofreceríamos servir 12 meses si la fiscalía rehúsa transferirlo.
Unless Ms. Nemini has other information that she wants to share.
A no ser que la señora Nemeni tenga más información.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Coleman.
Yeah.
Señor Combs.
Just additionally, Your Honor, Mr. Gonzalez Monroe has actually been in custody since May 18th.
En realidad, él ha estado arrestado desde el 18 de mayo.
He was in DeKalb County on May 18th. He was then brought over here to Fulton County 19 days ago.
Él ha estado desde esa fecha en el condado de DeKalb y aquí 19 días.
While he was in DeKalb County, he suffered an eye injury, which he states to me he's not received any treatment or medication for since he's been here since September 14th.
Él me ha dicho que desde septiembre 14 no ha recibido ningún medicamento debido a la lesión que recibió en el condado de DeKalb.
He's 37 years of age.
I beg your pardon.
37 years of age.
Él es tiene 37 años de edad.
He was employed at a fish market restaurant for a year and a half before he was incarcerated.
Antes que lo encarcelaran, él trabajó para el restaurante Fish Market Atlanta.
He is the father of 3 children, ages 12, 13, and 15.
Él es el padre de 3 hijos, con 3 hijos de 12, 13 y 14 años.
And again, I'm just concerned that he's been in custody for this long here in Fulton County without an offer being made on the case, particularly since the DA has declined to prosecute.
Y también entonces me preocupa que él ha estado bajo en custodia por tanto tiempo aquí en el condado de Fulton y la fiscalía ha rechazado una transferencia.
We don't think the appropriate remedy is to necessarily reflexively ask for 1 year to serve on this case just because they are prepared to make more thought out offer at this time and because the DA has declined to prosecute.
Y por eso no creemos que es apropiado que se le otorgue 1 año más de encarcelamiento debido a que no están preparados a presentar una oferta de sentencia en este momento.
Therefore, we are requesting that Mr. Monroe be released on the siege bond given the amount of time that he has been in custody.
Y quiero que se le considere el tiempo que ya ha estado bajo custodia y que se le ponga en libertad, que se lo considere la señora Nairobi.
And Your Honor, I'd like to respond when it's appropriate. Thank you.
Me gustaría contestar cuando es apropiado.
And let me just say that I believe we do have an offer now. It's 12 months to serve. It's my understanding that if he gets 2 for 1, that'll be 182, half of that. And if what you're telling me is correct, Mr. Coleman, then he's well over the 182 mark.
Déjeme entonces decir algo, que si la oferta es de 12 meses a servir y ya si él recibe el 2 por 1 sería un total de 182 y si es lo que usted dice, señor Coleman, es correcto, eso lo que ya ha servido sobrepasa lo que se le pide, ¿verdad?
So if the court is suggesting that they would entertain an offer for time served on my client, I would speak to him about that.
Si yo quisiera solicitar que si el señor juez ofrece una sentencia de tiempo servido, me gustaría hablar con él sobre eso.
Ms. Allen?
Señor Allen.
Your Honor, this defendant being arrested and dealing with matters that are similar in DeKalb County has nothing to do with the time that he's been in jail here in Fulton County on this case. He would only be applicable for credit for time since he's been in jail on this case from January of this year. Well thought out, sorry.
Este acusado ha tenido que lidiar con cargos similares en el condado de DeKalb. No quiere decir que por eso se tiene que aplicar aquí en este condado. Tenemos el cargo que está él cumpliendo desde enero.
I just reviewed the jailings information and I see no medical concerns or issues noted for this gentleman. I would also remind the judge that anyone coming into the Fulton County facility has to be cleared by medical, and if there's an issue, they're sent for treatment. The same, I'm sure, is something that DeKalb County does.
He hecho una revisión acerca de su condición médica y no se ve en ningún expediente que haya algún problema físico. Cuando alguien llega al condado de Fulton tiene que tener una indicación médica de otro condado cuando se lo recibe y no hay ningún tipo de tratamiento que haya sido recomendado por parte del condado de DeKalb. Y eso es un proceso que el condado de DeKalb también tiene que hacerlo.
The other piece, Your Honor, is that you just heard criminal history that verifies not only is there a prior battery, but there's also an open case or a prior case dealing with the same victim.
También usted escuchó, su señoría, que con respecto a los otros cargos penales, él tiene antecedentes y que ocurrieron también con la misma víctima.
So if the situation we're in at this point is our office moves forward because the DA's office in this jurisdiction will not take this as a felony transfer, we would certainly be open to ankle monitor at the defendant's expense, no contact with the victim in this case. But this would be a case that if it's going to be disposed today, it would be a guilty plea with time to serve or probation and conditions.
En esta situación, su señoría, llegando a este punto, si seguimos adelante y no se quiere determinar a este caso como una transferencia de delito mayor, estamos dispuestos a darle una sentencia con el uso de un brazalete en el tobillo, no tener más contacto con la víctima, siempre y cuando él se declare culpable, cumple el tiempo y también con condiciones bajo probatorio.
And just for the court's clarity, it's my understanding that this incident occurred in January of 2019, and there was a subsequent incident in 2020 that he pled guilty to.
También quiero, para que quede todo aclarado, de que este incidente es de enero del 2019, pero también hubo otro incidente similar en el 2020.
And although he pled, I'm not sure which came first. I've got a 2020. Did the 29, these allegations come first, or did the 2020 incident that he pled for come first?
So the
¿Cuál
2020,
viene primero, el del 2019 o el del 2020 al que él se declaró culpable?
the conviction, the rest date on that is, I believe, before. Yep, November 3rd of 2019, and he took the plea November of 2020.
Bueno, la sentencia fue el 3 de noviembre del 2019, pero él se declaró culpable en noviembre del 2020.
And that was on a separate case, not this one?
¿Eso fue un caso separado?
Yes, that's the prior conviction, the battery family violence out of DeKalb County.
Sí, esa de la convicción anterior del condado de DeKalb por golpes y lesiones, violencia familiar.
So it's my understanding of the case that's before me now, January of 2019 came before the November 3rd, 2019 case. As such, the January 2019 would be the first allegations of battery family violence. Is that correct?
Entonces es correcto, de acuerdo como yo lo tengo ante mí, él fue el caso de enero del 2019 y fue antes del 3 de noviembre del 2019. Y ahora el cargo de golpes y lesiones fue enero 2019 entonces.
And in addition to that, Your Honor, this case was accused timely in front of a judge, and this defendant failed to appear.
También esto se realizó la acusación a tiempo en frente de un juez y él no compareció.
Do we know if the time he was being held in DeKalb County, if that was on a DeKalb County matter or if it was pursuant to the code from Fulton County?
¿Sabemos si se lo encarceló por lo que pasó en el condado de DeKalb y también por lo que pasó en el condado de Fulton?
Because if it was pursuant to the hold from Fulton County, he was in de facto in custody in Fulton County since he was not being released, and he would be entitled to credit for that time spent there.
Porque también si fue a consecuencia de lo que pasó en el condado de Fulton, él debe recibir crédito por esto.
You should probably ask your client and talk to the people at the jail. We can look at the documentation.
Bueno, usted tiene que hablar con su cliente, con la gente en la cárcel y buscaremos la documentación.
Mr. Coleman, I am discouraged that we had him on the calendar earlier and last week. And he's back on the calendar this week with nothing moving forward in this regard. I don't want him just sitting in jail with a cash bond.
Entonces, señor Coleman, yo no tengo la inclinación ya que de hacer algo, ya que lo tuvimos antes en la lista de causas de la semana pasada y que hoy en día no hay nada para seguir adelante. Y no quiero que esté sentado ahí esperando con una fianza bajo firma.
So it would be my inclination to have you all get this worked out.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Your Honor.
You're fine. To give all the parties the opportunity to get this worked out, to get him a proper offer prior to me making a ruling on the matter.
Entonces yo lo que quisiera es que a él se le dé la oportunidad de que le den una oferta apropiada por ley y que pueda ser resolucionado de la manera correcta.
So my inclination would be to place this on next week's SAP calendar, either on Tuesday or Thursday. And unfortunately, we don't have our the October calendar out yet, but I would like to be the one to rule on this matter.
Entonces tengo la inclinación de que lo pongamos de nuevo en la lista de causas de la semana que viene, el martes o jueves, y quisiera ser yo el que continúe tratando este caso.
Would you be sitting both days next week or just next Thursday?
I don't know. We don't have the calendar yet, Mr. Coleman. What I would do is I would instruct Ms. Grace to put him on the next on the calendar next week where I am, whichever one I'm sitting on.
Todavía no tengo el horario de la lista de causas, pero voy a pedirle a la señora Grace que lo ponga en la lista mía de semana que viene.
Would that be agreeable to you, Mr. Coleman?
It would, Your Honor.
¿Está de acuerdo? Sí, su señoría.
Would that be agreeable to the state?
¿Y la fiscalía?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's do that. So you all work together to try to figure this out, get him, look into the matter, get him an offer, and if it's not accepted, then I will address the issue of bond next week.
Muy bien, entonces traten de trabajarlo entre ustedes y descifrar y para poder encontrar una oferta y resolver esta cuestión.
Ms. Grace, hopefully the calendar will come out either today or tomorrow. If you will place Mr. Gonzalez Monroe on whichever day that I'm working next week.
Will do, Judge. I have it.
Señora Grace, pues por favor puede hoy o mañana asegurarse de que el señor González Monroy esté en la lista de causas próxima en mía.
And I'll file the waiver on Mr. Gonzalez's case and any other cases I have by this afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
También quisiera tener el papeleo esta tarde. Muy bien, gracias.
We'll see you next week, Mr. Gonzalo Monroe.
Lo veré la semana que viene, señor González.
He has a question.
¿Tiene alguna pregunta?
Yo tengo corte, creo que para el mes que entra de VICAP.
I have a court day next month in DeKalb.
Okay. You should be, well, if you're still here when that court date comes up and you're released, just give proof of incarceration for Fulton County.
Entonces, si usted sale antes del día de la fecha, usted puede presentar el papeleo que estuvo aquí en Fulton, en el condado de Fulton.
Sí, porque yo tengo el papel de que salí con una fianza de $300. Aquí lo tengo en mi cuarto.
Yeah, because I had the paperwork that was able to leave with a $300 bond. It's in my
They'll give you proof of incarceration if you miss your court date in DeKalb County because you're here.
Si usted pierde el día en el condado de DeKalb para presentarse, usted va a poder recibir papeleo como prueba que estaba aquí.
Están cerrados de VICAP. Todo está cerrado. Nomás ahorita me detuvieron porque en una pelea donde yo vivía me golpearon a mí. Entonces ahí me pusieron, por no presentarme yo a la corte, para no presentar los cargos, a mí me pusieron orden de arresto.
Well, see, all the cases in the cab have already ended, but they brought me back here because of a fight, and they put that I didn't appear in court.
Well, again, that's the only thing that we can do, sir, as far as the Cobb County case is concerned, just give you proof of incarceration for here. That's the only thing that we can do.
Esto es todo lo que podemos hacer, darle pruebas y usted pierde su cita en DICAP de que usted estaba aquí encerrado.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We're competing with courtroom too, Judge.
Okay, do we need Ms. Chancey for any other cases this morning?
No.
Okay, thank you. We
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. Have a good day, sir. Bye-bye.
Leave us in. Do you have something, Mr. Howard?
Yes, Judge, we have two cases on the fifth floor, one probation case, Mr. Holloman, as well as position 22 that we're prepared to handle.
Okay. And I see that we also have, okay, so we're ready to, with you. Are you there right now, Mr. Howard?
Yes, Judge, we're on the fifth floor, Ms. White and I. So this is
Okay.
Mr. Holloman on camera, the probation case,
Okay.
Reginald Holloman.
This is position number 6. Let's see, is Officer Harris, are you with me?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Holloman. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the probation revocation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good morning. Yes, Officer Harris.
Your Honor, we have Mr. Reginald Holloman. His case is back from April 27th of 2017. He actually stopped reporting to our office and never completed the domestic violence classes. He has 125 days remaining. Probation recommendation to give him the credit for the time he served and to close his case.
Taking no objection to that, Mr. Howard?
No objection, Judge.
All right, time served. Good luck to you, Mr. Holloman.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
And I have an announcement, Your Honor, for
Yes.
position B on the probation case, Mr. Adam Cook.
Yes, position number 3.
Yes, Adam Cook, he's been released because he was released yesterday. We sent up a paperwork yesterday to the jail.
Okay, so Mr. Cook is released, and so the only one that you have left is Mr. Jackson, position 7? Or,
Was that Mr. Terrence?
oh, okay, yeah, he was position 7, so that he was the time served. So that's all the probation cases, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you so much. Good to see you, Officer Harris. You have a good rest of your day.
You too.
And Judge, this is position 22, I believe, Earl Shavers.
22, okay.
That's a negotiated plea.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Shavers. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
You agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me, Mr. Shavers? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you. Yes, Ms. Allen?
Thank you. And the defense is stipulating to venue and facts.
Yes, we will. Unless
so-
otherwise noted, we are stipulating.
Mr. Shavers initially was released on bond for this case that happened in June of 2023, but that pretrial bond was surrendered because of a new arrest in August. The offer in this case is 12 months to serve 180. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no further contact with the victim in this case. Mr. Curtis Harper, Harper.
We just ask you to accept the plea as negotiated, Judge.
Mr. Shavers, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003975E, you wish to plead guilty to battery, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and not by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir. I understand.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Shavers. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, thank you, Judge. Thank you.
You're
Your Honor.
welcome. Thank you.
Excuse me, judges, that's balance suspended or probated because there was no condition, so
Suspended.
thank you, they're not.
Yes.
Okay, thank
And
you.
that would be up to the court because that's not part of my offer.
Well, there's no indication that probation was wanted and there are no conditions, so the assumption is that that's a balance suspended.
That's a
balance-
strange assumption, but okay. 12 months to
Balance will be-
serve,
the balance
180
will be-
days.
Okay, well, the
The
order of the
balance
court,
after the 180 days, it's not,
Get ready to say.
I'm sorry, Judge.
no, I'm gonna say the balance suspended, Mr. White.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Judges, 12 months to serve, 180 days credit for time served, 180 days, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
We ready at ACDC, Your Honor?
Okay,
Judge, I'm sorry, I didn't make the correction. He's only actually served 50 days, so he won't need another, he has to serve another 40 days.
Maybe we need to have another booking. Let me see. Maybe there's another.
Unless there's,
well, it's my understanding that it was
Yeah,
12
another
months to serve 180 days, credit for time served 180 days. That's what I was told.
okay, wonderful.
But he won't get credit for it because he's only served 52 days.
That is not the offer and that's not the amount of time he served. Is anyone?
Well, that's what was
looking at
told to
the
me
amount-
though, right?
Not by me and not conveyed in my offer.
Okay, and that's why I said, our offer is 12 months to serve 180 days, credit for time served 50 days. No alcohol, drug, or weapons, and no further contact with the victim. That's what we agreed to.
All right, so,
Oh, can I interject? He had 2 days initially on June 23rd, and June 24th, so that'd be 52 days total.
Sounds great.
And that's what we understood, and that's what we agreed to, Judge. And that's why somebody said 180 days credit for time served, and I wanted to correct, make sure that
okay, so let me make sure that we have the correct sentence. 12 months to serve, 180 days, credit for time served 50 days.
52, but yes, we found two extra days apparently.
52 days.
Right.
No further contact with the victim. No alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and the balance will be suspended.
That's correct, Judge. That's,
If that is your sentence, that was not part of the offer.
So the balance is to be probated?
Yes, Your Honor.
well, that's not indicated in the offer. It just says 12 months to serve, 180 days, credit for time served, and then no drug or weapons. So normally a little BP standing for balance probated tells us that it's probated. If that's not there, then it's typically balance suspended because there's nothing for him to do on probation.
Except have no drugs, alcohol, weapons, and no contact with the victim.
The court's order will be that balance will be suspended.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Let's see, I believe, are the cases, Mr. Coleman, are the cases in ACDC your cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so let's do that. I see someone on the iPad. Is this counsel for someone in my court this morning?
Yeah, I had some other courts. My client is Gerardo Herrera. I got an email from Mr. Jordan that he's on the calendar. Gerardo Herrera, is that right?
Yes, Mr. Herrera Alvarez is on the calendar this morning. Have you had the opportunities to speak with him and the solicitor on the matter?
I was really just waiting for him to get a normal in-person court date. What happened was he was arrested on a ag stalking and he's been in jail for a couple of weeks with no bond. And he has, I think, a bond. I don't represent him on that one, but he has a bond hearing for that one on October the 9th. So, but I got to represent him on the misdemeanor. Can we push him over to see what happens with the new case and see if he gets out or not? And then we could
Reset, Mr. Herrera Alvarez, is that right?
you were breaking up a little bit. Say one more time. I'm sorry.
You would like to reset him?
That'd be great to see what happens with the ag stalking case, if he
Okay.
gets out or doesn't get out, or see what happens. Yeah.
Counsel, how much time do you need to reset him?
If we could do, when we see like November something, you okay with that?
So you want to place him back on a state all-purpose calendar sometime in November?
That'd be great. That'd be perfect. Yes.
All right, so the first available date in November would be the 2nd of November,
Let's do that.
okay? So we'll reset position number 11 to SAP November 2nd.
Okay.
All right, anything
Just
for,
for-
and counsel, do you have you entered I don't have your, oh yeah, I do, Mr. Kessler.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we do have you listed. And as I also have that an interpreter is going to be necessary for your client at that time. Is that correct?
Please, yes.
Okay, Ms. Allen, did you have something?
Just wanted some clarification. Is this a case that hasn't been seen or heard on a trial calendar in front of a judge, or this is a failure to appear case?
No, it's not a fair, it's a case that he had arraignment. I waived arraignment, and I was waiting for another court date. He got arrested. There was a warrant out for an ag stalking felony case, and he's currently in a Fulton jail for the ag stalking felonies. It has not been, this is the first calendar that it's been put on.
And we're hearing this case on SAP just because he happens to have a open misdemeanor case that he's waived arraignment on, and the bond was surrendered. Is that my understanding?
No, he's good with this case. The issue is that the warrant for the ag stalking. This case is just a normal process, no FTA, nothing. Just he's currently in a Fulton jail on an ag stalking case, which I don't represent him on.
Okay.
Yeah.
If nothing further, you have a good day.
Okay, thanks. I'll be in contact with the prosecutor, try to resolve it. Okay.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Who do we have first at ACDC?
Position number 2, Justice Burns. Ms. Burns, come on up and have a seat, please.
And what are we doing with Ms. Burns today, Mr. Coleman?
Your this is going to be a negotiated plea.
Okay, good morning, Ms. Burns. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. You can put your hand down. Yes, Ms. Nimini.
Yes, Your Honor. The state is asking for 12 months probation, served 14 days, credit for time served 7 days, 6 weeks of anger management, 40 hours of community service, stay away from 3150 Roswell Road, and no further contact with Miss Imani Flanagan.
Mr. Coleman?
We would ask that the court accept the plea as negotiated. We would ask that the court would allow the probation either terminated or non-reporting once Ms. Burns has completed the conditions, that probation fees be waived for a period of time. We would stipulate to a factual basis as well as venue and ID.
Ms. Burns, it's my understanding that in case 21 CR 0060931, you wish to plead guilty to battery, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, Your Honor.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with counsel's representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I will accept the plea as negotiated. I'm not inclined to waive any fees, but I will have probation terminate once you complete the terms of the probation. So Ms. Burns, the sooner you get the terms done, the sooner you won't be on probation, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, good luck to you, ma'am.
Next, we have position 7 and 8, Faith Floyd.
What are we doing with Ms. Floyd this morning?
It's a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
Good morning, Ms. Floyd. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Nemini?
Yes, Your Honor. For position 7, the state is asking for time served 8 days, balance suspended, and a stay away from 2659 Sylvan Road, which is also known as T&D Auto Repair. And for position 8, the same, it's concurrent, time served, 8 days, balance suspended, but then a stay away from 3030 Plant Street, which is also known as Skinny Wimp Moving Company.
Mr. Coleman?
Your Honor, we would ask that the court accept the plea as negotiated. We would stipulate to a factual basis as well as venue and ID.
Ms. Floyd, it's my understanding in case 22 CR 006205G, you wish to plead guilty to willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, and in case 23 CR 005721G, you wish to plead guilty to loitering and prowling. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, Your Honor.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the pleas as negotiated. Ms. Floyd, good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, we have position 12, Natasha Hill.
Yes, good morning, Ms. Hill. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Nemini?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is asking for 12 months to serve 62 days, credit for time served 31 days, balance probated, a $500 fine, and an anti-theft course, and to stay away from that Belk. And let me get the correct address. It is 3500 Peachtree Road, A2, Atlanta, Georgia.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes, Your Honor, we would ask that the court accept the plea as negotiated. We're actually requesting that the $500 fine be converted to 50 hours of community service. We request that the probation either terminate or go non-reporting once Ms. Hill has completed the conditions, and that probation fees be waived for a period of time. We are stipulating to a factual basis as well as venue and ID.
Is this Ms. Hill's first allegations of theft by shoplifting? Ms. Tyson, can you answer my question if you have that there?
One moment. No, she has a theft by shoplifting from 2018, and that's a conviction, a misdemeanor conviction.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
She has another one out of Cobb County for 2020 also.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Tyson.
Mhm.
Ms. Hill, it's my understanding that in case 19 CR 006110G, you wish to plead guilty to theft by shoplifting, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I will accept the plea as negotiated. Ms. Hill, once you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status. I'm not inclined to waive any of the fees. But if you get that done quickly, you won't be on reporting probation and you won't have to pay those fees. If this is your third theft by shoplifting, you know that if there is ever another one, that it's going to be a felony.
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Ms. Hill.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, sir. Next, we have position 16 and 17, Miss Sonia Hill. I'm sorry, Miss Sonia Lee. Come on up, Miss Lee.
And what are we doing with Ms. Lee this morning?
It's gonna be a negotiated plea this morning.
Okay, good morning, Ms. Lee. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you. Ms. Nimini?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is asking for 12 months probation, credit for time served 12 days, 20 hours of community service, stay away from 20 Linden Avenue, and no further contact with Mr. Antoine Hightower.
Mr. Coleman?
Your Honor, we would ask that the court accept the plea as negotiated. We would ask that the probation would terminate once she's completed the community service. Stipulate to a factual basis as well as venue and ID.
Ms. Lee, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 003840B, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, Your Honor.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Lee. As soon as you get the 20 hours of community service done, I'm going to have a probation terminate. So the sooner you do that, the sooner you won't be on probation, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you for your services.
All right, good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next is position 21, Ms. Salahuddin.
What are we doing with Ms. Salahuddin this morning?
This is gonna be a negotiated plea.
Good morning, Ms. Salahuddin. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you. Yes, Ms. Allen.
Thank you, Your Honor. The offer in this case is 12 months to serve 50 days, complete family violence intervention programming, non-reporting probation following the completion of that, and no further violent contact with mom, who is the victim and the dual arrestee in this case. Her name is Amina Lashaya Flanagan, I believe, or Lashaya Amina Flanagan. Okay. Maybe the defendant will let us know. But ultimately, this is an incident from April of this year. Police in East Point were called to the location, which is a residence where there was a fight between mom and daughter involving a strike with a closed fist to the right eye and the left side of the head, leaving bruising. Both parties, when spoken to, reported that the assault and the altercation was about the defendant here today not wanting to give her mother $50, just wanting to be allowed to use the EBT card. So an exchange of money to use the EBT card was requested. Mom denied that request and an assault occurred. Mrs. Saladin previously received a bond and was released, but that bond was surrendered because she is in custody on a felony robbery case from East Point in August. Mom is out on bond and her case has been reset.
And she's getting credit for 50 days served?
The days, I believe, is 50, yes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Coleman?
Your Honor, we would ask that the court accept the plea as negotiated. We would just request that the probation go non-reporting once Ms. Saladin has completed the conditions. We would also request probation fees to be waived for a period of time. We would stipulate to a factual basis as well as venue and ID.
Does she have a job?
Are you working, ma'am?
I had one before incarceration.
So you're not working right now?
Guess I lost my job since I'm.
No, she's not. So again, we'd be requesting that probation fees be waived.
Okay. Ms. Saladin, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 002161F, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery family violence. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Very satisfied.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. I will waive 2 months of probation fees to help you get and stay on your feet and get a job. And once you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you.
Have a good day.
Do the same, thank you.
All right, that's it for ACDC, except for Mr. Floyd, Marcus Taylor, who is on the competency calendar. I don't know if I'm going to need to bring him around, but if I do, it'll be a few minutes, Your Honor.
Did you also have position 31, Evita White?
Who?
Evita White, position 31.
Okay. Give me 10 minutes. We
All
take
right.
these ladies back and I'll get her.
You go and speak to that.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I might speak to that, what she's about to look up. The Evita, if Evita White's an ACDC,
Yes,
she is being held on something on which she has no bond on a felony charge. There would be no harm to her. She's not going to make that bond. I don't think it's going to be changed in the next week. So we could simply have more time to actually see her, talk to her about this case if we put it off till a week.
You'd like to put it off until 1 week, Mr. McLean?
1 week would be plenty.
Okay, so that's October 5th. We'll reset position 31, Ms. White, until October 5th.
And really the exact same thing could be said of position 32. Mr. Christopher Wright is in jail on $72,000 worth of bond, of which this case only represents 4,000. It's a misdemeanor. The other two are mixed felony misdemeanors. And there's no way I can do this case today. I'd have to talk to the felony lawyers because of.
Okay, you're fine, Mr. McLean. So you'd also like to reset this to position 32, Mr. Wright, until October 5th?
Correct. That
Okay.
no harm to him at all.
All right, we'll reset him for 1 week.
And finally, Your Honor, Mr. Tompkins, number. Let's see. What number is Mr. Tompkins? That starts with a T.
Position 29, D'Angelo Tompkins?
Yes,
Is that
Your
who
Honor.
you-
Considering the offer from the state, I need to convey that to him. It's pretty much straight 51 extra days in jail. And I need to tell him about that. He's in custody on something else. He's in custody on something else, I believe, and I think that would make sense to just reset him as well.
1 week also?
Yes.
Okay, we'll reset position 29, Mr. D'Angelo Tompkins, until October 5th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and
What did you do, Sterling, with all of this case?
We plan to be Christmas Smart.
Well, let's go to 24.
Yeah.
Basically.
And we still have a number of people on the SAP calendar, and I believe they're on the floor, so court will be in recess until someone appears before us.
So 26.
Coleman. Is Mr. Howard still interviewing people? You're on.
Go over
You can talk now.
and log in so we can do the comment.
He's gonna log in a few minutes so you can do the case.
Okay, I was just wondering if we could, do, like you said, do the competency calendar, if possible, but, so, yeah, you all just let me know, okay?
I did have one other matter which I think we can take care of now. I don't know if we did position 10.
No, we have not.
Okay. He was interviewed on the floor. He's not in the courtroom right now, so I'll waive his presence. I did want to do a bond hearing on Mr. Harris.
Okay. What, let's see, what's the current bond, and Ms. Tyson, what's the history?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear him. Who is this?
Position number 10, William Harris.
Mr. Harris, he has 25 arrest cycles beginning in 2006. He did have a felony case. Let's see, I'm sorry. Yep, a felony death by shoplifting case. He received first offender treatment and it was sealed in 2017. He has a, let's see, misdemeanor battery out of Lowndes County. That's from 2007. Another misdemeanor battery, family violence out of Lowndes County from 2011. We have another misdemeanor conviction out of Lowndes County for sale. Well, let's see. The original charge was sale, distribution, or possession of dangerous drugs, and it was amended to possession of controlled substance. Disposition date on that is October 2014, and it looks like he received a conditional discharge on that case, and it was dismissed in 2015. So he has a misdemeanor theft by taking in 2014.
Where's Valentine?
We have a felony conviction out of Lowndes County for robbery. Disposition date on that is December 2015. We have a misdemeanor conviction out of Harris County for driving without a valid license. He took a NOLO plea June 2022. His last arrest was a violation of probation out of Harris County, and that was April 12th of 2023. He has a total of 4 violations of probation and 3 FTAs. And he has 1 cycle out of Florida. That's from March of 2019, and it was for a moving traffic violation. Nothing to add, Your Honor.
Do you know what the current bond is?
It's $5,000, Your Honor. Mr. Harris's case is similar to Mr. Gonzalez Monroe's case in that this was a pending felony transfer, which I believe was declined to prosecute by the DA's office. No offer has been made on his case. He's been in custody a total of 61 days, counting the 4 days that he was in custody when he was originally arrested on this charge back in 2011. I don't have his criminal history in front of me, but looking in Odyssey, it looks like this is the only case that he has in Fulton County. This is the only case he has pending before the court at this time. His last conviction for battery was back in 2011, some 12 years ago. Again, given the fact that he's been in custody for 57 days and no offer has been made on the case and it's not being transferred to the DA's office, he's kind of in a legal limbo right now where his case is stagnant. I would be requesting that he be released on the signature bond.
Ms. Nemeth?
Yes, Your Honor. So this incident happened last year, June 7, 2022. Officers responded to a reference to a dispute call with the victim, Ms. Tierra Harris. the wife of the defendant, who stated that she dropped her cell phone. And I guess the defendant tried to retrieve it, or she tried to retrieve it. And that's when defendant started beating her, and he grabbed her hair to stop her from hitting him. But then officer spoke with the defendant, but the defendant said that the victim stated that the defendant was upset because she was on the phone with her baby's father, who was not the defendant, and she dropped her phone. And when she attempted to retrieve it, that's when the defendant pulled her hair and scratched her in her face to prevent her from talking on the phone. Officers observed a bruise above Mrs. Harris's left eye, her left inner arm, a scratch on her right side of her face, and a bald spot from when he pulled her hair out from the left side. And then this happened in front of her daughter. Considering his history, Your Honor, there are many violent occurrences. Although there is only one pending battery charge currently, there is an arrest from battery of family violence and a simple battery from this year. Additionally, a battery family violence from 2022. And I have more probation violations. I have 1, 2, 5, 6, 9, 10. I have 10 probation violations, 4 failure to appears. The state believes this is more than reasonable a bond. In reference to the limbo that Mr. Coleman spoke of, I'm not entirely sure, but he has been charged with battery 2 times, and he has two additional, 3 additional batteries that are in limbo currently, aside from Fulton County. So the state does believe that the 5,000 is more than reasonable.
Well, again, the issue is the process, Your Honor. He's been in custody for 57 days now with no movement on the case.
Okay, I think I'm going to do the same with Mr. Harris as I did with the previous gentleman. I am going to reset him to the SAP calendar for next week, whichever calendar I'm on, so that an offer can be forthcoming. Mr. Coleman, if an offer is not forthcoming or not accepted, I will consider bond next week, okay?
Thank you. I can't remember if he was arraigned or not. Did you need to do a waiver?
If you would, please.
And Ms. Grace,
Okay.
like, downtown in the court house, I was gonna bring the plea forms down there.
You would,
I heard you, Mr. Coleman.
Yes, are you in the clerk's office?
Yes.
I'll bring the paperwork down this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
okay, thank you. Let's see, anyone else that we can take now?
I think we're concluded with the SAP count except for position 30. I don't know.
I have
that.
position 6, 14, 15, 20, and 30. Am I wrong about that?
Well, actually, I don't think we ever went over the calendar.
Right, so I have that. We still have position number 6 to do, Mr. Edwards.
Mr. Edwards was actually reset jail jury.
Okay,
I'll do a waiver.
all right. So that, what about position 14?
I don't have this position for 14 and 15.
Waive jury, Judge.
So you're gonna file waivers for Mr. Kendall, position
Already
14?
been filed in the email from Ms. Gray.
Okay, and a waiver for position 15, Mr. Kilgore?
Look, I'll get back to you, Mr. Kilgore, Judge.
Okay, position 20, Mr. Richards.
I have that as reset jail jury.
So a waiver will be filed in that case. And position 30, Warner.
What are you doing, Ms. Warner?
We still need to address her, so she's at least. Maybe, we can talk about it on the conference.
Okay.
Judge, Ms. Warner, I believe, was at ACDC, but we can talk about her case on our conference account. That's where it came from.
Okay, So we're holding on position 15. So while we do,
sorry.
Of course, it's South Annex.
Oh, he's at the South Annex, Mr. Kilgore is.
okay. Is the South Annex going to be on with us today?
I don't know.
Is there someone there with you?
No, apparently South Annex is not gonna be on.
Okay, so we will have to reset Mr. Kilgore. Do we want to reset him 1 week or till Tuesday?
Again, one second, please.
No more jail time restitution.
Judge, we'd like to get him on as soon as possible. His offer is for time served.
So.
Okay, so next Tuesday will be the earliest, so that is the 3rd. Okay, is that all?
Gotcha.
Okay, so we'll reset Mr. Kilgore to the 3rd. I think that takes care of everyone that's on the SAP calendar. Okay, let's see, before we go into the competency calendar, let's Ms. Grace, can we go over the SAP calendar to get that out of the way?
Yes, Judge, can you tell me what they said about 20?
1 second, 20 was reset jail jury.
And then I think the last was position 30.
I think they're gonna handle that when they do the competency calendar. She's at ACDC.
Who is that?
D'Amica Warner.
Okay, I need to know, you want me to bring her around?
I guess at some point, Mr. Howard is gonna speak with her.
All right, who needs to talk to her?
I do.
Mr. Howard is gonna speak with her.
Break out with her because I don't have the phone in here. If I could do a breakout, that'd be better.
Okay, and do I need to bring Mr. Marcus Taylor?
No.
No, you said?
No.
All right. All right, give me 10 minutes and I'll have her up here.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm ready, Judge.
all right, so let's go over the calendar.
Position number 1, reset 10/5/23 SAP. Position number 2 was a plea. Position 3 was non-pros. Position number 4 was a plea. Position 5 and 6 reset jail jury. Position 7 and 8 were pleas. Position 9 will be reset for the next calendar that Judge Morrow is available for, as well as position number 10. Position number 11 is reset 11/2 SAP. Position number 12 was a plea. Position 13 was a plea. Position 14, reset jail jury. Position 15, reset 10/3 SAP. Position 16 was a plea, as well as position 17, non-pros. Position 18 and 19 were pleas, 19 being a non-pros. Position 20, reset jail jury. Position 21 and 22 were pleas. Position 23 and 24 were pleas. 25 reset further notice, along with position 28, which is the FTA reset further notice. Position 26 was a plea. Position 27, a plea, non-pros. Position 29, reset 10/5/23. We're holding on position 30, position 31, and 32, reset 10/5 SAP.
Okay. Any questions or concerns about the state all-purpose calendar?
No concerns.
Okay, very good.
Thank
Are we
you.
ready? Thank you. Are we ready for the competency calendar? Or,
Yes, Judge.
okay, so if you can, Ms. Grace, place everyone who needs to go into the competency calendar and
You have to go to stab it for him, you know? We were just on.
Next person from Ms. Admin. No, here we go, yes.
You said I was next.
I said he was gonna be next.
No, you said I was.
Have a seat.
You
You can go next.
Does it matter at this point?
Yes, it does.
Mr. Howard? Attorney Howard?
Mr. Howard's in the breakout room.
Okay, thank you.
Your thing went off again, Tracy. Oh, no, man.
Okay, let's see. Who do we have at ACDC and in courtroom 2?
At ACDC, Your Honor, we have Ms. Warner, D'Amico Warner.
Yes, Ms. Warner, is she, I don't see,
Come on up, Ms. Warner.
and the camera's not on, Ms. Deputy Mayor. Oh, there she is, okay. All right. So Ms. Warner, remember you and I spoke about, you know, how we were trying to work things out. And so we're looking like you're gonna get released next week. And I'm gonna come see you at the jail so we can go over the paperwork again, and then we'll resolve your case, looks like on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we're looking at having you released to Epic, so you can make sure you get over there and they can get, you know, with the housing and everything that's set up for you, okay? So I'll come see you at the jail in the next couple of days, and we can, you know, we'll firm everything up, okay?
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
We'll see you back on October 3rd, next Tuesday, Ms. Warner.
That's it from ACDC, Your Honor. And
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
thank you.
And do we need to address whomever's in courtroom 2 there? I'm not
Yes.
sure.
I believe that's Mr. Stearns, Judge. And
Okay.
when we had the request for the signature bond that the court agreed. Mhm.
Okay, they're not unmuted there. Can you hear us, sir? Okay, do you want to just explain it to him, Mr. Howard? I'm not sure if there's anyone
Yes.
in the courtroom with him.
Mr. Stearns, remember you and I talked yesterday about the bond hearing. We did, you know, talk with the judge, and he is in agreement to give you a signature bond. So you should be released, you know, later today or in the morning, okay? And you'll get your next notice in the mail at the 550 Fitzgerald address, all right? All right.
Okay.
So Mr.
Very good.
Kilgore,
Go
Mr.
ahead.
Kilgore will be reset for 10-3, correct, you guys?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I think that completes the 9 o'clock and the 11 o'clock calendars for today. You all have a good rest of your day. I'll possibly see you next week.
Okay.
Thank you.
All
All
right.
right, thank
Your
you.
Honor,
Yes,
I didn't hear Zarkia Johnson name called.
Yes, she was on our conference calendar. We reset that to, let's see what date. 10/12.
Okay, 10/12.
Yes.
Okay. Thank
she'll
you.
be back. She'll be back on there, ma'am. Thank you. You have a good day.
Okay, you too.
Thank you, ma'am. All right. Y'all take care. Have a good weekend.
All right.
Same to you.
Thank you.